does the Vivo X Fold 6 hold up after making the switch from Snapdragon to a Dimensity processor? Has the battery improved? What about the cameras this time around? And while everyone keeps talking about the AI Workbench, is it actually as useful as people claim? In this video, I'll share my real-world experience. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. First, let's do a quick unboxing. I picked the deep blue version, and from the photos online, it looks really elegant. But does it look just as good in person? Let's find out. Right on top, we have the phone itself. Wow, it's incredibly light. Honestly, it feels so nice that I'd love to use it without a case. Underneath, there's the charger. Vivo includes a 100-watt fast charger that supports both PD and PPS charging protocols, so it's compatible with plenty of other devices like tablets and laptops. They've also upgraded the charging cable to USB-C on both ends, which is a welcome improvement. Finally, we get the protective case, and it has a surprisingly premium texture. Now, let's take a closer look at the phone. The crease on the display looks pretty well controlled. Flipping it over, 1, 2, 3, this deep blue finish actually looks much more refined in person than I expected. What do you think of the design? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. One thing to remember is that the real color can look quite different compared to photos or videos. As the light hits the back panel from different angles, it shifts between darker and lighter shades of blue, almost like waves moving across the ocean. It's not a flashy or overly bright blue. It has a subtle, classy appearance. Even so, I'd still recommend visiting a store and seeing it with your own eyes before making a decision. Now let's power it on. Alright, enough of the introduction. Let's talk about what it's actually like to use this phone in daily life. Most foldable phone reviews usually begin with AI features, cameras, or the large display, but I want to start with something hardly anyone seems to focus on: the battery life. If you've ever owned a foldable, you already know that even though the inner screen isn't always used as much as the outer one, foldable phones generally consume more power than traditional smartphones. Needing to recharge every day or every day and a half has basically become normal. However, after using the X Fold 6 myself, I found the experience to be quite different. If you're a light user spending around 5 to 6 hours on your phone each day, getting through 2 full days on a single charge is completely realistic. On one of my travel days, I spent about 12 hours taking photos, watching videos, navigating, and using the phone normally. When I finally got home, there was still around 10% battery remaining. And remember, we're talking about a foldable phone here. Later, I found out why. The X Fold 6 comes equipped with a massive 7,000 mAh Blue Ocean battery, along with 3rd-generation semi-solid-state battery technology and the 5th-generation GUI-G battery system. You don't really need to remember all those technical names. The important takeaway is simple: battery anxiety on a foldable phone is pretty much no longer an issue. Charging speeds remain the same as the previous generation, with 80-watt wired charging and 40-watt wireless charging. For everyday use, that's more than enough. Now, let's move on to durability and the overall hardware. One of the biggest concerns people have with foldable phones is taking them outside. Whether it's unexpected rain, a day at the beach, or simply dropping the phone, every accident feels extra painful with a foldable. Thankfully, the X Fold 6 comes with IPX8 and IPX9 water resistance, along with IP65 dust protection. It even supports operation in temperatures as low as -20 degrees Celsius. That means I don't have to panic every time I bring it outdoors or worry about using it in challenging environments. Speaking of the display, there's one thing about foldable phones that almost nobody talks about. On many foldables, the outer screen often feels like an afterthought. It's usually narrow, tall, and not particularly enjoyable to use, forcing you to open the phone almost every time. The X Fold 6 changes that completely. The first thing you'll notice is that the outer display is noticeably wider than before. Unlike previous generations with their tall, narrow design, this one feels much more natural for everyday use. Honestly, the cover display feels just like using a premium compact flagship phone. Even if you've never owned a foldable before, it won't feel awkward or stretched. Display quality is a highlight. Both the inner and outer displays use flagship-grade display materials from leading suppliers. In simple terms, using the outer screen feels just as premium as using the inner one. Both displays also reach a local peak brightness of 5,000 nits, with matching specifications that provide a very consistent viewing experience regardless of which screen you're using. Now, let me ask you something. When you unfold a typical foldable phone, how do you usually use it? Maybe watching TikTok on one side while chatting on the other? Honestly, that's not much different than putting two phones side by side, and once you start opening several apps, it's easy to interrupt your workflow and constantly reopen everything. This is where the X Fold 6 introduces something much more practical. Its upgraded parallel mode allows up to 4 apps to run at the same time. Recently, I've been using it to watch TV shows on the bottom, stream World Cup matches on the top, keep football discussions open on one side, and run WeChat simultaneously. The best part is that I can add another app without interrupting the others running. Everything continues working together. If you want to go even further, there's an advanced transfer mode that turns the display into what's essentially 5 working areas at once. One app takes center stage while the others remain active as supporting windows. For example, you can play Clash Royale on the main display while keeping another game or a novel open on the side with WeChat or QQ running alongside everything else. Some people might wonder, if I want to go back to the regular parallel mode, do I have to close all the apps and reopen them? Not at all. Simply fold the phone slightly or swipe with 3 fingers and you can instantly switch between different multitasking layouts without restarting anything. It feels like a direct physical interaction with the interface, and it's surprisingly satisfying to use. But that's not the end of it. You can also create and save your own custom app combinations. For entertainment, I keep TikTok, games, WeChat, and Weibo together. When I'm traveling, I combine Xiaohongshu, Dianping, Maps, and Atomic Notes. Whenever I find an interesting photo location or restaurant, I simply drag the information into my notes and navigate there immediately. For work, I have documents, Blue Silver Xiaowei, music, and WeChat grouped into one productivity setup. If shopping is your thing, you can even compare prices across Taobao, JD, Pinduoduo, TikTok, and Blue Silver Xiaowei at the same time, while the built-in AI helps recommend the best deals on snacks, gadgets, and other products. Every one of these custom layouts can be saved directly to the home screen, so your favorite multitasking setups are always just one tap away. There's no need to open each app individually every time, which makes daily use much more convenient. And if you don't like the default layout, simply drag the divider between apps to resize each window however you want, giving you nearly unlimited flexibility to customize the workspace exactly the way you prefer. You can even rearrange the workspace with a simple tap, and the apps animate smoothly as you move them around. Keep your favorite apps at the top, where they're always within easy reach. If I only want to focus on gaming, I can enlarge that window. When it's time to work, I can quickly bring my productivity apps to the front. Overall, this workbench gives me a real sense of flexibility and complete control over how I use the phone. Now let's talk about document management. Think about it for a second. How many files are stored on your phone? Chances are you don't even know. There are PDFs shared through WeChat, spreadsheets from group chats, and documents downloaded from your browser. When you actually need one, it often feels like searching through a giant pile of files, and sometimes you still can't find it. The X Fold 6 handles this much more intelligently. It automatically organizes files based on where they came from. Documents and images received through WeChat or QQ are easy to locate, while downloaded files are neatly sorted under the browser category. It makes finding the right document much quicker and far less frustrating. The meeting recording feature is just as impressive. Imagine sitting through a 40-minute meeting. Who really wants to listen to the entire recording again afterwards? That's exactly where the AI meeting assistant comes in. You can record offline meetings directly on the phone, and the AI quietly works in the background. It identifies different speakers, keeps track of who suggested what, recognizes who agreed or disagreed, combines everything with your own notes, and then generates a clear summary. Once the meeting is over, it automatically creates a concise report covering what was discussed, what decisions were made, and which topics are still unresolved. A meeting that lasted 40 minutes can be summarized in about 30 seconds. After relying on it a few times, it's honestly hard to imagine going back. And believe it or not, that's only the beginning. The feature that impressed me the most on the entire device is AI cross-window playback. Watch this. Simply drag an image into the workspace, and the AI immediately recognizes the text, converts it into editable content, accurately translates tables, and even extracts information from business cards. The AI doesn't feel like a feature you manually launch whenever you need it. Instead, it works like a smart assistant that's constantly ready to help while you're using the phone. To me, that's exactly how AI should work on a foldable device. The large display lets multiple tasks run together, while the AI actively participates in what you're doing instead of sitting on the sidelines. Right now, I don't think any other foldable phone delivers this kind of multitasking experience through an Atomic Workbench. Now that we've covered productivity and AI, let's move on to one of the biggest concerns people have before buying a foldable phone: the cameras. To properly test the camera, I even paid for my girlfriend to get a makeover. We drove out to a scenic location, and before heading there, I even checked with a local travel service to make sure there was almost no chance of rain. Well, the moment we arrived, it started pouring. Even professional photographers find cloudy, rainy conditions challenging. At first, I thought the entire portrait test was ruined, but since we had already made the trip, I decided to continue shooting anyway. Honestly, I was surprised by the results. Even with dark clouds and heavy rain in the background, the subject didn't look underexposed. Skin tones remained bright and natural. As the rain became even heavier, I skipped hiding under the pavilion and continued taking photos. I still managed to capture several that turned out really well. This time, the X Fold 6 also includes the same blue tone natural color mode found on the X300 Ultra, along with several excellent film filters like rich light, multiple film, and film style filters. During my testing, I didn't need any advanced photography skills. I simply pointed and shot, and the phone consistently produced attractive portrait photos across different focal lengths. If I wanted to make them even better, the AI editing tools inside the gallery could automatically adjust colors and enhance the images. Based on my experience, I especially recommend using the film filters, light capture, and cool white during daytime shooting. The success rate is incredibly high, especially for portrait photography. If you're taking pictures of girls, these filters really deliver fantastic results. So how is the phone able to produce such clean portraits even in rainy, overcast conditions? One major reason is that the X Fold 6 features the only foldable phone camera equipped with a full focal length flash. Whether you're shooting nearby or from a distance, it helps capture bright and detailed portraits even in low light environments. Every camera across the focal range uses a 50-megapixel sensor, so image quality remains consistently sharp. I won't spend too much time reading off specifications, but here's a quick overview. The main camera uses a Zeiss 100-megapixel sensor with a large f1.4 aperture, while the telephoto camera is powered by a Sony sensor. Both cameras support optical image stabilization, which helps deliver impressive low-light performance. I also captured several nighttime portrait samples, and personally, I think the overall results are excellent for a foldable phone. One feature that genuinely surprised me is the teleconverter support. It's something you rarely expect to see on a foldable. If you enjoy photographing concerts or wildlife, this is fantastic news. With this phone, you don't need to carry a second device just for long-range shots, which makes the entire experience much more convenient. If I had to sum up my experience in one sentence, I'd say this is the first foldable phone that doesn't make me feel like I'm sacrificing battery life, the outer display, or the camera system. The AI feels natural enough that there's almost nothing new to learn. You simply start using it. So if you're thinking about buying a foldable phone, I definitely recommend visiting a store and trying the X Fold 6 for yourself. Seeing the phone in person is a completely different experience compared to looking at photos or watching videos online. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!